You don't fuck with Nero.
Hey, did you miss me?
No!
Did you miss Black Clover?
No, not exactly.
You know what happens to liars, right? Welcome back everyone, and it's time to go balls deep, and Black Clover returns with its new arc regarding a political war with another kingdom. Asta is in the forefront of this conflict due to his powers coming from a demon, and everyone is getting a lot less ignorant on the world of Black Clover. That's what this week's chapter is all about. Establishing a conflict we all care about, creating new information of lore that the readers as well as the characters such as Asta not knowing about this information, therefore allowing world building to take place and establish a setting in the first place. Wait, let me get this. Yo, Tabata, what's up? You got everything right again? I just wanted to phone you to congratulate you. Yeah, I know. We good? Your balls dip prediction magic is pretty good, and alright, thanks, bitch. Bye! You guys know what to do. Smash that like button, spam that clap emoji in the comments, because we're gonna have a party! Because we were all correct in predicting what was gonna happen. You, me, the editor, everyone, because we utilized balls deep prediction magic. The most powerful magic there is. Literally everything we said 2 weeks ago ended up coming true in this chapter. For example, Julius was able to predict the fate of the Clover Kingdom and Asta. He was able to predict his victory and that he wouldn't die, so this comes as no surprise. Yami says Julius's predictions are always on point. Now we all know why. Time is overpowered. Time involves the past. Time involves the future.
Time to stop!
Anyway, our lovable main character may be taken away from us sooner than we'd all like. Which is never, because this is a shonen, bitch. Julius has predicted that the kingdom will once again be under attack by another kingdom, which could be the Diamond, Spade and Heart kingdoms. And we also get some info on the other two kingdoms we haven't heard about yet. Firstly, we hear about the Heart kingdom and how they have rich natural mana, choosing to remain separate from the madness of the other nations. They're called the neutral nation. Then we hear, or we are warned about rather, about the Spade kingdom and how they serve the horror which slumbers in the cold, and they're called the demon nation. Is this some sort of demon king that they worship? Who knows? Now there isn't much to say about the Heart kingdom, not yet anyway, but the Spade kingdom is apparently associated with demons, as Julius said. That's a very interesting fact because it opens up a lot of possibilities for the story, and more specifically for Asta. What if Asta is exiled there? What if he finds his heritage from that kingdom or something linked with the anti-magic devil? You guys get my point by now, right? Because we also know for a fact that the Spade kingdom is a military nation, so if they grab Asta, or if Asta is actually from there, something along those lines, wherever direction Tabata decides to go. I mean, I don't know if this was a translation error, but why would Julius specifically call them a demon nation? And why is Julius the only one that has noticed Asta is using devil powers? He has more knowledge than we the readers have, of course, which causes him to be an informative character. But that's the thing, is Asta and everyone else but Julius a dumbass? Julius tells everyone that Asta has a devil inside him, and everyone seems surprised, even though they just killed a word magic devil like the exact same day. It just doesn't make sense, fam. Nothing should surprise them at this point. I mean, couldn't they connect the dots or feel similar energies from the two devils and then think, oh, Asta has a devil too, what is this power? He also has a 5-leaf grimoire that the devil said he needed. Can't they correlate these dots and connect it? Don't they have a brain for themselves? Like, I don't know what's going on. Are you trying to use logic again? Oh god, no, I'm sorry, Tabata. Okay, shut your mouth then, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, I'll try to knock this out of my hand. Okay.
I digress. I'm just teasing you guys because we know for a fact that Tabata established in the devil arc that human beings are completely ignorant of other races and they didn't know what the hell was going on, and that's why Asta looking like the devil meant nothing to them. It was for plot. Now moving on, we did get some new information regarding Asta's connection to the devil and the other world, and that him having horns is a sign that he is associated with demons and that other dimension itself. But if you can remember, in the second page of chapter 197, Asta felt like he was familiar with the word magic devil, stating he feels like he knows him already. Julius explained in this week's chapter that when you have horns, you have a connection with the other world. So now that confirms my analysis and theory that the reason Asta can detect the other devil in that realm was because he was unconsciously channeling the powers of the anti-magic demon, giving him this feeling. In chapter 212, the anti-magic devil talked with the word magic devil and called him his superior. So there must be some ranking system within the demon realm, and this further proves again why Asta felt like he knew him. Maybe the demon was also exiled to the world of humans due to his powers, because anti-magic powers no one can do anything with it, and that's why he was against the word magic devil and he hates all of them. There is a theory that I have where the story of the anti-magic demon must be very similar to Asta's. They both must be low status individuals from their respective societies and dimension, but they were destined for each other as Asta was born with no mana and he happens to have anti-magic. If this is the case, this will cause an understanding between the two characters in the future or something, because that is one way of developing both characters through an emotional level to impact both the readers and the characters in Black Clover universe. Also, I know what you're gonna say. Well, ABD, I don't like the concept of destiny. Fudge that. Yeah, I agree, but we have to see that the concept of destiny does exist in Black Clover already. Since Patrick said himself it was destiny for him to look like Licht when people asked him, why do you look like Licht? How did this even happen? How do you have a 4-leaf grimoire? We still have zero evidence of how this even happened, except that it was because of destiny, as Patrick said. But going back to the point, Julius tells Asta that he may be the most suitable to be judged by the Magic Council. They're seriously trying to punish my man Asta for having some fighting ability and balls for saving the day. He also mentioned that Asta has used forbidden magic, not intentionally or knowingly, but he used it. We know this to be true because Secre, who is known as Nero, says she has the horns that connects her to the other world as well, and she got them because she used forbidden magic, and as a result her body was sealed inside a bird. As a result of this, Asta's anti-magic swords may be considered forbidden magic, so Asta may be imprisoned or maybe even exiled to somewhere else. But it's a real possibility, and it just goes to show how messed up the society in Black Clover is and why they need to fix the political system, the sociological system, everything else. It really balls deep if you think about it, because Asta has done absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, he's done more good than almost anybody since he became a magic knight. So for him to be judged and punished but William gets off scot-free, that is bullshit. Okay, so by the end of the chapter we are introduced to a new character. Drumroll please, let's see if I butchered this. His name is Damnatio. Why you...
What? What the f?
Anyway, Damnatio is part of the royal family, meaning his full name is Damnatio Kira Clover. He may be in line to become the future king after Augustus the 13th. Damnatio looks like Aizen from Bleach, you know what I'm saying, and he seems to have an immense amount of mana. This makes sense because we all know the truth about the corruption of the monarchy. Since Damnatio is part of royalty, it means his descendants are the ones that killed the elves 500 years ago and stole the elf mana for themselves to retain. This is what made the royalty of Clover Kingdom even more powerful and retained their status within the kingdom. Now of course the word magic devil did play its part and persuaded them, but their actions are still theirs, and as we see, they're still assholes. The royals till this day 500 years later have prejudice ideology instilled into them. Moving on, in the chapter we see anti-monarchists attack Augustus, and we don't know their ideology yet, but I don't think it was because of what Julius believes, you know, where it's about prejudice. They may try to kill him because of power, since they were discovered to be nobles pretending to be Midnight Sun members. We have to wait and see till next week to see what anti-monarchists really want. Are they like Asta or are they for themselves? But as a result of this, we know that Damnatio is pretty strong since he defeated 4 nobles within a second of using his magic. I mean, this dude forced them all to kneel before him by just using his immense mana. We will find out more about the function of Damnatio's magic next week it seems, but at the end of the chapter he seems to have detected devil powers somewhere, which means he knows Asta is around, causing the prediction of Julius to come true, because now the royalty will blame the devil for causing all the destruction, and they need to blame someone to explain to civilians on what actually happened, because they don't want their name to be tarnished, they don't want to lose reputation. Lastly, another interesting thing to know is the meaning of Damnatio's name. Damnatio comes from damnatio Condemnatio Memorial. It is a Latin phrase meaning condemnation of memory. It was a form of dishonor that could be passed by the Roman Senate on traitors or others who brought discredit to the Roman state. In this case, it's the Clover Kingdom. The Romans viewed it as a punishment worse than death. Guilty people would be erased from history for the crimes they had committed. Now this correlates with the character Damnatio itself, because he is going to find Asta and probably declare him an enemy of the state of the Clover Kingdom. In addition, the magic he uses seems to judge people on a scale, which again personifies the meaning of his name, as the scales represent the accounts of a person that he used his magic on, of course, declaring if they are good or bad, right or wrong. You get the idea. Tabata likely got inspired by this concept to create the character. Also, now that I have mentioned his scale tool, we can also create a theory, a balls deep theory. For example, in chapter 204, we saw Nero and Lumiere invent tools of magic to help create a better future that would shrink the gap between commoners and royals. So we can see in this panel, the one magic tool we know is the swallowtail, and it cannot be the only tool that they created, right? There must be more than just one tool that they did, since they were working together for so long. What if these tools got discovered just like Julius found swallowtail? Tabata can go into that direction where some of them must still be around, and that's what Damnatio is using himself, since Lumiere was also royalty just like him. We can see in page 14 that the scale tool he is using seems physically there, since he touches it with his finger. Now that would be about everything I wanted to say about this week's chapter, but if you want to follow us on Instagram or Twitter, that would be great, since I interact with you guys there. Also, last week I did a competition where you guys can talk on Amino, follow us there, comment, and you enter the competition, right? Well, I used a generator. I have evidence for this. Just look at the video. I did this fairly. So if your name appears on the screen right now, please contact me with your email address and let me know who you are, and then we can talk from there and you get your t-shirt prize. Guys, please follow us on Amino too, and also smash that like button. I already said that, but okay, let me just say that again. Okay, bye.